Hello everyone, welcome back to the session. So in the previous session we have seen different types of the testing, what is the verification, what is the validation, and also we have seen some types of testing. So we have seen the unit testing and integration testing. In integration testing it is classified into again 4 types. What are those? First one is the top down, second one is the bottom up, next one is the third one is the regression, and finally it's the smoke testing. Okay, we have seen up to the regression testing. So now let us go for the next testing of integration testing, that is the smoke testing. So what is the smoke testing? So let us see that. So smoke testing is an integration testing approach that is commonly used when product software is developed. So when software product is going to develop, then smoke testing is one of the approach of the integration testing. So this testing is performed by the developers before releasing the build to the testing team. So before giving to the testing team, so this is done by the software developers, not by the testing group. Okay. So smoke testing will be done by the software developers before going to the giving to the product to the testing team. So after releasing the build to the testing team, it is performed by testers whether to accept the build for further testing or not. So whatever the testing are done by the performed by the developers, then again testing team also will do some testings, whether the whatever the things they have to test, whether it is going to build furtherly or not. Okay, so that is the smoke testing. So it is as designed as a pacing, that means to get the speed of the mechanism. So to get the speed of the mechanism, okay, the process what we are doing is correct. So how we can know that by that is the way that we are going is correct? So we have to test. So that this is a smoking test. So if you done the smoking test while building, so if the test is good, the results is good, then it will go for the further building of the product. Okay. So it is for what type of projects is time critical projects. So those are the projects which have the less time. So within the less time, within the less scheduled time, we have to finish the projects miss. Then we go for the smoke test. Okay. So this testing will allow the software team to assess the project on a frequent basis. So frequently they will go for the frequently applying for the test. That is called as a smoke testing. Okay. And next coming to the smoke testing. So next one is so up to that we have completed the testings. Now we are doing the test strategies for object oriented software. So we know the what is the object oriented. So the same thing when we are developing of the software product, we will apply the object oriented. The same thing will be applied to the testing also. So some strategies in order to apply the object oriented. So what is it? Let us see. So what is the main objective by doing this? So the main objective of testing stated simply is to find the greatest possible number of errors within a manageable amount of effort applied over a realistic time span. So why we are doing the testing? Because in order to reduce the errors. So while releasing the product into the market, so before that only they will go for undergo some different types of the testings. So why we are doing the testings? In order to reduce the errors. Okay, so this is the 2 types of the test. So one is a unit testing in the overall context and integration testing in the overall context. So whatever the unit testing we have said in previously, the same testing in terms of the overall concept, that means object oriented. At the same time integration testing in the overall concept. So what is the unit testing? Unit testing is nothing but, so we divide the project into some modules, some units. So we are going to, we can say we are applying some testing process for those units. That is called as a unit testing. Okay. So in similar way, basing upon a single object in the one unit. So basing upon that, it will go for the unit testing. What is the integration testing? So integration testing is nothing but when combining the different units or different modules of the project. So you are integrating into some system. So while integrating, that means while combining of those units, you will get some errors. So in order to reduce those errors, this integration testing came into existence. Okay, so that is the difference. So same unit testing and integration testing will be considered in the object oriented context. Okay. And next, coming to test strategies for web apps. So up to now we have seen the test strategies for the system or software product. Now we are going for the test strategies for the web applications, web apps. So what are those? Let us see. So web application testing is software testing technique exclusively adopted to test the applications that are hosted on the web, which application interfaces and other functionalities are tested. So what is it? Testing for the software? Testing of a software is nothing but so whether the software is working properly or not, whether the input what we are getting the output the correct one or not. So that is the testing of the software products. Whereas for web apps, so how web apps will go for the testing? So on what basis these web apps will be considered? The testing will be considered. So in order to release the web apps, that means in order we have to get the some hosting. Okay, web host. That means whatever the ID you are getting, some URL www.some.com. So that is some hosting address. That is a web host address. Okay, so we call it as a domain. So we have to take that domain. So after taking the domain, we have to buy that domain. Okay, after buying the domain, so whatever the things we are implementing, whatever the web page we are implementing, so whether it is acceptable that one or not. So applications that are hosted on which application interfaces. So what type of interfaces you are using. So we have the different types of the browsers. Chrome, Internet Explorer, and next one is Opera, and next one is Mozilla. Next one is Microsoft Edge. Like this, we have the different types of the browsers. So these are the web browsers. So web browsers will help to view some web applications, whatever the web applications are there. Okay. So in order to view the web application, what you developed in all these web browsers. So what is the interface for that? Is that the interface what we have developed is working or not? Okay, so that is also one test. And other functionalities. So like login. So how it is login, whether it is getting login or correctly or not. So sign up. So after sign up, what is the page it is coming? So like that, different types of the functionalities we have to test. Okay, so that is a web application testing. So what are those strategies? Let us go for those strategies. So first one is functionality testing. So what is a functionality testing? The below some of the checks that are performed but not limited to the below list. So in functionality test, what we have to check is these are the things we have to check. But it is not limited to this. That means not only these, there will be so many. Apart from that, these four are the more important in order to check the functionality of the web application. So what is that? Let us see in detail. So verify there is no dead page or invalid redirects. So that means some pages which are not getting like you are getting like 040 bad request. When you try to access some web pages on the website, on the Google, okay, so you are getting like this 040 bad request. That means the page does not exist. Okay, like that when you are creating a web application, so like that pages are coming up. So like that pages anyone is there or not. So we have to see. So whether it is invalid or dead page. So we have to check whether there is no dead page and there is no invalid redirects. So we have to check. So and secondly, that is the first one and second one. First check all the validation on each field. So and also we have to check all the validations. Validations are nothing but so whether the product what we developed is right or not. So for what purpose you have developed the website. So whether it is opening correctly or not. So whether it is going whatever the pages they are viewing is correctly it is getting or not. So we have to check. And next, thirdly, wrong inputs to perform the negative testing. Okay. So whatever if you do the wrong inputs, so what is it giving the output? So that is called as a negative testing. And next one is verify workflow of the system. So how the workflow is nothing but how the data is moving. Okay, so in Amazon, if you want to buy one product, you have to select. Say after selecting, it is go for the cart. After cart, it is going to proceed to buy. Okay, like that. After proceed to buy, it will go for the order payment. So order payment means again it will go for the some addresses and everything. It will check whether it is a payment online or cash on delivery or credit or debit cards, whatever. So workflow, how the workflow is there. So we have to check. And next, verify the data integrity. So how the data is getting. So how the data can be placed. So whether data is placing in normal text format or whether it is placing the data in the, with the links, whatever it is. Okay, how is the data integrity is providing in the website. So we have to check all these things in the functionality. Not only linked to this, so many are there, but these are the 4 important things. And next coming to, so second one is the usability testing. So what is usability testing? So to verify how the applications is easy to use. So in usability is nothing but usability testing. So how the users can be used so frequently. So whether they are using the web pages. So what are the problems they are getting? Okay, the first one is test the navigation and controls. Navigation, that means moving of the pages from one page to moving. So controls are nothing but buttons. What are the buttons? What are the check boxes we provide? What are the radio buttons we are providing? What are the different text like typing of addresses like that? So okay, whatever the controls you are using. So those controls we have to test. And next, the second one is content checking. So what are the content you are placing that plays an important role in the website? So in website, whatever the content you are placing regarding the product or regarding the site or regarding your profile, whatever it is. So what type of content you are placing? Okay. And next, thirdly, check for user initiation. So whether user is easily interacting with the system or not, with the web application or not. So it is very easy for the user to interact with the web application or not. We have to check. And next, thirdly, interface testing. So second one is the usability and the third one is the interface. First one is the functionality. So what is the interface testing? So perform to verify the interface and the data from one system to the other. So what is this? It is used to verify the interface. Interface is nothing but how to face the system by the user. How the system facing the user. Okay, that is interfacing, interaction. Okay, we can also call as interface as an interaction. And the data flow from one system to the other. So how is the data is flowing? For example, web applications means we have the two. One is the client and next one is the server. So in web applications it will be two systems. Okay, one is the client and next one is the server. So client means we are the clients. Server means the developer who is the owner of that site. The server may be out of the country, the server may be within the country, wherever it is. Whether it is a cloud or whether it is a Azure, whatever it is. Okay. Like that. So server will be made in somewhere else and client. So we are the client. So Amazon India will be one server and for other countries will be the another server. Okay. So whatever the things we are doing, so that will be noted in the server. So from server you will get the response. For example, some proceed to buy. So there is the option proceed to buy. So there is an option proceed to buy. Okay, what do people do if you click on that? So when you click on proceed to buy, then what it do is it takes the cursor, not the cursor, the information to the server. From client to server, it will go. Okay, in the server, whatever the things. Okay, so from client, from like IP address. Okay, so from this IP address, one IP address is given one request. What is that? So proceed to buy. Yes, they are going to proceed to buy. Then server will give the one response. This is the request, and this is the response. response will be given to the client by the server. Then we go for the next step. Okay, so in order to check that interfacing test, in order to check this whether the request and response are moving perfectly between the client and server, so this interface testing will be done. Okay, so 3 types of testing we have seen. And next, fourth one is the compatibility testing. So what is the compatibility testing? So it is performed based on the context of the application. Context of the application. So what are this? So first one is browser compatibility. So what type of browsers it can be compatible? So I said the different types of the browsers: Chrome, Mozilla, Internet Explorer, and next Microsoft Edge, Opera. So these are the different browsers. So whatever the application, web application we are developing, whether this is compatible with all these web browsers or not, whether it is opening correctly with Chrome or not, whether it is opening with Mozilla or not. If you have seen, for example, for conducting of online exams of different exams, different national eligibility test. Okay, so only with one browser only the compatibility will be more. So they will say, okay, you have to log in with the only Mozilla browser or Chrome browser, like that they will inform before the exam will start. Okay, because they have to see the incompatibility. So which browser it is more comfortable to that, in order to show all the options, whatever the controls they are placed, whatever the navigation bars they are placed. So whatever the different frames what they are constructed in the web page design. So that will be, it depends upon the compatibility of the browser. Okay. And next one is, second one is the operating system compatibility. So next one is, so we have the different types of the operating systems: MS Windows, Windows, Microsoft, and next one is the Linux or Unix or Ubuntu, and next one is the Apple, Mac iOS. So like this we have some 4 types of operating systems. Okay. So whatever the website you are developing, is it compatible to all these operating systems or not? Or it is compatible to only one type of operating system? So we have to check. That is a compatibility test. And next, the third one is compatible to various devices like notebook, mobile, etc. And also we have to check the compatible for the notebooks. That means some laptops which are like tab and mobiles. So whether the browser what we have constructed, whether what we have developed, is it compatible with those devices apart from the laptops, apart from the PCs? Okay, we have to check this also. This is a compatibility testing. And next, fifth one is the performance testing. So what is the performance testing? So perform to verify the server response time throughout the various load conditions. So I said that there is a server and client. Server, client. So we don't consider whether the server is in India or out of country, is none of that. Okay, we don't want to bother about that. So we have to bother only client. Okay. So what is a performance testing? So when I said that whenever the client is interacting with the website, or whenever he did some operations with the website, so those operations will go for the server. That means it is a request. Operations means like, for example, purchasing some accessories from someone site, from one website, whether it is a Flipkart, Amazon, or whatever it is. Okay, so first it has to go for the server. So whatever the submit button or whatever the buttons they have connected with the server. Okay, so when the client is clicked on these, so it will go for the request to the server. So this performance testing will verify the server response time. So within a short time, whether the request, whatever the request is sent by the client, we got the response from the server or not. That means, say sometimes when you are, for example, there will be some offers given by some sites like Amazon or Flipkart. So they will say that only within 12 to 12.5, only within that time only this phone will be available with the less price, like that they will give you some offers. So at that time you people try to get those products within that time, but you may not get. So it will say you are in queue, like that it is giving. That means it gone to the server, but it is not giving the response to you. So it taking the some time. So that time is considered in the performance testing. So how much time it is taking when the client requesting one thing from the server. So how much time it is taking from the server to the client, the response has to come. Okay, so that is a performance testing. So in order to test the in order to do the performance testing, okay, so we have to consider some of the conditions. What are those conditions? Let us see. So first one is a load testing. So what is a load testing? It is the simplest form of testing conducted to understand the behavior of the system under a specific load. Load is nothing but, so not only we request, for example, Amazon is offering some mobile, so to less price in one particular time, maybe 9 to 10 o'clock. Okay, morning times 9 to 10 o'clock, Amazon is offering some product with less price. Okay, so let us say that. So 9 to 10. Okay, so in this 9 to 10 time, we have to purchase a mobile. So this is our requirement. So only my requirement. Like that, how many people will require that? So many of the people, all over the world, all over the nation and all over the international. Okay, everyone will thought, okay, this is Amazon is giving such an offer, so I want to buy. So many people will be very, we can say, defeat for that. Okay, so everyone will be sit to 9 to 10. So at that time, server will become the busy. People will say server is busy, that's why we are not getting anything from the server, like that. Okay, so at the time, how many clients? Maybe 100 to 200 clients at a time, they are requesting the same product. Then how much load it is going to take? So 100 to 200 members means 200 persons giving the same request at the same time. Okay, for example, 9.5 by 9.5 time, 100 to 200 clients selected that particular product. So that means how much load has got the server? 200. So 100 to 200 means 200 load at a time it has taken on the server. So that is a load testing. So how much load it can be capable. So if for 100 to 200 members, how the server is active for that, how the server is responding to that. So that is a load testing. So load testing will result in measure important business critical transactions, whether that is a bank transactions, whether it is some product transactions, whatever it is, and load on the database application server, etc. are also monitored. Okay, so for example, at 9 to 10, only 10 pieces of mobile are only sold with less price, means then the number of clients will increase, maybe 400 to 700. That means the load is getting increased. The load is getting to the increase on the server. So for some people, they will get the transactions, they will do the transactions, the money will be debited from their bank, but they will not get the product. Like that it may happen. So that is the, so in order to avoid those type of errors, so load testing will be performed. Okay, and next, stress testing. Second one is a stress testing. So these are the parts in the performance testing. So in performance testing, different conditions we have to test. One is a load and second one is the stress. So it is performed to find the upper limit capacity of the system and also to determine how the system performs if the current load goes above the expected maximum. So whatever the stress, what is meant by stress, how much persons are requiring the same product at the same time. So how much stress, that means it is to find the upper limit capacity of the system and also determine how the system is performing. If the current load goes well, that means, for example, the server capacity is, so server means it is also one of the computer. Okay, don't think server means it is something like that. So how we are using the system, like a laptop, like that only for server also, it is also one computer, but it is of not with our memories, okay, not with our system memories. It is of large amount of memories, like we can say that cloud computing, okay, like that. That means it has so much of space, so much of data, so many of the CPUs will be connected, like supercomputer. Okay, like supercomputer. So server. So what we are saying? So for example, this server can only take the stress of only 700 people. So at a time, 700 people can give the request response, can send the response to the server. Then the server can take that stress. Okay. Beyond that, that means if you 1,000 people are requesting the same server, so 1,000 people are requesting some same product to the same server, that means limit is upper, that means only the limit is 700, but it is going to the beyond that 1,000 people are interacting with the system. Okay, so there is a difference of 300, that means 300 people stress is getting on the server at a time. Okay, this is a stress testing. So if the server is taking the more than its limit, so to find the upper limit capacity, so upper limit capacity, so how the system is working on that, so how that it is taking the load. Okay, that is the testing on the stress testing. Next one is the soak testing. So this also is called as the endurance testing. So which is you perform to determine the system parameters under the continuous expected load. So soak testing is also to determine the system parameters. So if you giving the continuously, so many of the people are requesting the same server. For example, 24/7, the server is getting continuously work. The server is giving the responses continuously for thousands of people. Then under that circumstances, how the system performance will be calculated is the soak testing. So okay, during soak test, the parameters such as memory utilization, how the memory utilization is going on, and next how to detect the leaks or other performance issues. So whether the memory, what is the memory allotted to the digital, utilizing it sufficiently or not. The main aim is to discover the system's performance under sustained use. So the main intention of the soak testing is, so whether the system is performance is working under the sustained use. Okay, so these are the different types of the test. And next coming to spike testing. So this is also part of this performance testing. So what is this testing? So this testing is performed by increasing the number of users suddenly by a very large amount and measuring the performance of the system. So this spike testing. So spike testing is performed to increase the number of users suddenly by a very large amount and measuring the performance of the system. For example, so there is a one server. Let us say this is a Google server. Say every day so many people will interact with the Google at the same time. We can say that at the same time. Okay. So when Google server, for example, the percentage of the using of this Google is increased by 1,000 times of the regular people, then how the system will be react to that? How the users are increased suddenly, so how the system will take the load? So how it is reacting to that? So that is called as a spike testing. Okay, the main aim is to determine whether the system will be able to sustain the workload. So whatever the workload previously, what the test previously? Soak test. In soak test, it will sustain the use So how it is using under the system's performance, and here sustain the workload. So how the workload is distributing among itself. So different types of the works will given to the server. Some people will ask the Google to search for some like a Gmail. Some people will type the Gmail. Some people will type for the FB. Some people will type for the some LinkedIn. So like that, everyone will have every different issues, so they will interact with the Google for some purpose. Okay. So when such people are interacting like that, so how the server is distributing that workload, how it is taking the responses from those requests from those clients, how it is giving the responses among those correctly. So if I am requesting the Gmail page, means whether it is giving me Facebook, no, it is giving the Gmail only. How it is getting? So how the workload is distributing among itself. That is called as a spike testing. Next one is, so those are the performance testing. So in performance testing again we have the 4 types. One is the first one is load testing. Second one is, what is the second one? Stress, and next soak, and lastly is the spike. So these are the 4 types of testing in the performance. And lastly, next one is the security testing. So what is the security? So if you see websites, any bank websites or any thing, whatever HTTP is, this S is nothing but security. Hypertext Transfer Protocol, HTTP means Hypertext Transfer Protocol. So if it is there as, then it is called as a HTTP with a security. So there is a security for that website. Okay. So perform to verify if the web application is secured on web, as the data theft and unauthorized access are more common issues, and are below of the some of the testing techniques to verify the security level of the system. So why we are providing the security in the website? Because in website through internet there is a more thefting has becoming most of the crime, like cyber security. Okay, so so whatever the web pages we are requesting, that may be done by some other dummy people for their purpose. So for example, if you go for the bank websites, the bank websites will be developed by the bankers, bank software team. Okay, so some people, in order to theft the data, in order to theft the money, so the simple way of getting the money, in order to go for that, some people will create the dummy of that web page. So when you click on the, when you go for the Google search and you click on the some IRCTC, there's a dummy also will come. So but we have to check whether the website, what it is, it has a yes or not. If it is yes, then it is a correct website. Okay. So in order to issue the, in order to test the security, so there are the some of the tests. What are the tests? Let us see. So there are some of the issues. So I have not written. Okay, there will be some of the issues. What are the issues? So whether the data is, whatever the data it is there, it is not taken by some other persons. Some third parties are not viewing the data. So whatever the data we are providing in the bank website or IRCTC is not getting viewed by the other persons. So like that we have to provide the security. Okay, that is a security test. And next coming to the validation testing. So yesterday we have, in previous session we have seen the what is the verification and what is the validation. So in validation testing, so what is the validation testing? So the process of evaluating the software during the development process or at the end of the development process to determine whether it is satisfy the specified business requirements. So what are the requirements given by the stakeholder, whether those requirements are satisfied in the product or not. So that is called as a validation testing. So validation testing is nothing but to check the requirements. So what are the requirements given by the stakeholder? Is it implemented in the software or not? That is the validation testing. So validation testing ensures that the product actually meets the client needs. So it can also be defined as to demonstrate that the product it fulfills its intended use when deployed on appropriate environment. So deployment means whatever the developing, so that is a developer's environment. So deployment means the stakeholders environment, the stakeholder system, the stakeholders office. Okay, so if the product is deployed means given to the stakeholders. So in their system, in their office, if it is going to work perfectly, then it is according to their requirements, then it is called as a validation testing. So validation is the process of checking whether the software product is up to the mark, or in other words, product has high level requirements. So what are the requirements given by the stakeholder? So whether they are implied or whether they are implemented very correctly or not, or it is a path of more requirements are also done in the product while developing. So that is the validation testing. So validation is a dynamic testing. So we have the dynamic. Dynamic means at runtime. So while checking the product, while running the software, so at that time we will do some validation testings by giving the input. So if you have given this input, what type of output we are getting? So that is a validation testing. So it answers to the questions: are we building the right product? So we have seen the previous session. So what is the validation? So are we building the right product? So for verification, are we building the product in right way? So that is the difference between the verification and validation. So validation testing is for the workflow. So how the work is flowing. So validation testing can be best demonstrated using V model. So you have the V model. So what is the V model? Let us see. The software product under test is evaluated during this step of testing. So V model. V model is we have seen in the first unit. So types of process models. Okay. So this is the V model. So first one is the requirement specification, first step. Second one is the designing. So third one is the detailed design, that means architecture. Next one is the fourth, program specifications, that means implementation, coding. And next to fifth one is the coding. So after coding, what they do? Okay, so then program specification. So for this program specification, they will go for the unit testing. So different types of testing we have seen. Okay, in detailed design. So detailed design, what type of testing they will do? Integration testing. So this is a validation. Okay, high level design. This is a system testing. And next requirement specification. This is a user acceptance testing. Like this, for each step there is a one testing. So whether in these testings, so whatever the requirements they are taking, so in these testings, according to those requirements, it is getting the output. Then it is called as the product is developed here. The right product is developed. Okay. So this is the V model. So next one is the system testing. So we have seen integration testing, unit testing. Now we are going for the system testing. So system testing is also one type of a software testing. So that is performed on a complete integrated system to evaluate the compliance of the system with the corresponding requirements. So system testing is nothing but is also one type of the software requirements of the software testing, but it is performed on a completed integrated system. Okay. So whatever the unit system, unit test, whatever the different types of test, smoke test, all you done is a unit wise. That means a module wise. Okay, whereas the system testing will be done after the modules you are combining, after the integrated, then whatever the test is, the system testing will be done. Okay, in system testing, integration testing, passed components are taken as a input. Okay, whatever the inputs you are taking. So one system's input will be the output will be the input to the another system like that. The goal of integration testing is to detect any irregularity between the units that are integrated together. For example, website will have the two modules, front end, back end. Okay, so this is the front end, this is the back end. So front end means the page, the web pages. Back end means whatever the databases we are storing, that is a back end. So while combining these two, while if I am front end and back end, I am combining these two by integrating, I am integrating these two. Then whatever the errors we are getting by integrating of these two modules, if there is any error, in order to remove those errors, integration testing will be done. Whereas system testing detects the defects within both the integrated units and the whole system. So when combining these two modules, if you are getting error, that is called as a integration testing. After doing the integration testing, after these two modules are come to one web application. Let us say that is a one web application. So after combining these two modules, you will get a full-fledged web application. So in that web applications, if there is any errors are there, so whether the pages are working properly or not, whether the controls, whatever the submit buttons, whatever the check boxes, whatever the text boxes you have placed, whether they are working perfectly, then it is called working perfectly or not will be checked by the system testing. Okay. So the result of the system testing is the observed behavior of a component on the system when it is tested. And next, so system testing is carried out on the whole system in the context of either system requirement specification or functional requirement specification. System requirement specification means SRS. Functional requirement specification is FRS. Okay, or in the context of the both. So system testing will be carried out on the both SRS and FRS. So SRS means system requirement specification and FRS means functional requirement specification. Okay, system testing tests the design and behavior of the system and also the expectations of the customer. What is the system testing? So system testing tests the design behavior of the system. So how the design is done, how the design is going on. So what are the web pages are there? So whether the web pages are going are connected with each other or not. So is there any bad pages in there? Like that. Okay. And behavior of the system. So if you are giving some input, so what is the behavior of the system? So what is type of output we are getting and what at time how the system is behaving. Okay. For example, antivirus. Let us take this antivirus as a software. Okay, you developed some antivirus software. So if you kept a pen drive, so what it has to do? It has to scan the pen drive. So whether there is a virus or not, it has to scan by itself. Okay, or else it has to ask whether to scan or without a scan, like that. Okay, so how it is behaving? So we have to check. It is performed to test the system beyond the bounds mentioned in the software requirement specification. In SRS, they will give us some bounds. Bounds is nothing but like there is some outer and inner edges like that. Okay, some values they will give. So if you have given the input like this, we have to get the output like that. So in that within the bounds, whether it is gaming or not. So we have to check that one. So system testing is basically performed by a testing team that is independent of developmental team that help to test the quality of the system. So why we are using the system testing is in order to get the quality of the system. So it has both functional and non-functional testings. Okay. So we call system testing is also called as a black box testing. So I said that there are some types of testing. Unit test, white box and black box. So system testing we call it as a black box testing. So this is also performed after the integration. So we have seen this. So system testing is also performed after the integration of the system. Okay. And next coming to, so this is a system testing diagram. So first we will go for the unit testing after integration, then system and then acceptance. So these are the process of the testing. And next coming to, so system testing will be performed in the following steps. What are those? First is we have to take the environment setup. Okay, so we have to take the first environment setup in order to get the better quality. And next we have to create the test cases. Test cases means, for example, you have using the some variables A, B. So if I give the 1 and 2, so then what is the output? If I given 3, 4, so what is the output? So like that we have the some of the test cases. We have to generate the test cases. Okay, next create the test data. So whatever the test cases we did, so we have to create the some data for that. So and also execute the test cases. So whatever the test cases we have taken, so the test cases we have to execute. And next, defect reporting. So at what time you are getting that some errors, defects is errors. We have to know. Next one is the regression testing. So in order to have there is a side effects of the testing process. So we have seen the regression testing. Okay, that one. And next one is the log defects. So whatever the log defects is, whatever the defects are observed in this defect reporting, so those will be rectified in these steps. And next again retest. Again it will go for the some testing process. What are the testing? Unit testing, integration testing, system testing, and acceptance testing. Both will be done. Okay. So this is the testing process. So this is the testing process. So first one is the environment setup, generate test cases, testing data, execute, defect, regression, log defects, retest. So by this I conclude that. So the summary of the session. So we have seen what about the smoke test, and we have also seen about the web application testing strategies. And we have seen about the different testings for web apps. And lastly, we have seen the system testing. What is the system testing?